Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel PMP Mastery. Guys, in this video I am going to cover entire process of PMP application for new PMP exam format in 2022. So in case you are looking for how to fill PMP application in just 30 minutes to 1 hour, then this is the video for you guys. In my entire PMP mentorship program, I have noticed that 8 out of 10 PMP aspirants most often make mistakes in filling up their PMP application. Like, first thing they do mistake is they don't know the right time to start filling up PMP application. Also, they do not consult to any PMP expert, mentors or trainers for cross-checking PMP application before submitting it to PMI website. Also, they don't exactly write project descriptions, project outcomes and the activities they have been involved in doing in the project and their roles and responsibility. So they do not follow PMI guidelines, PMI recommendation while writing it. Also guys, there are many more pitfalls in filling a PMP application. So guys, if you are watching video till now, then watch the entire video at least twice to grasp the correct information and avoid doing any mistakes so that your application can get approved. That being said, let's walk into entire process of PMP application. So very first thing, let's see the timeline of entire PMP process. You'll be getting 90 days time here for complete your PMP application. In case you fail to submit your PMP application within 90 days, you need to reapply again. After submission of your PMP application guys, PMI will take 4 to 5 working days for reviewing your application and then they will be giving you a response. In any case, if your application being shortlisted for PMI audit, you will be getting 90 days time period to complete PMI audit process. Also guys, within 1 year you can take 3 attempts for your PMP exam. In case you fail to pass PMP exam in 3 attempts within 1 year, then you have to restart with new PMP application. Also guys, you need to understand there is a renewal cycle. So once you pass your PMP exam, now you have to maintain your PMP certification. So on every 3 years you are going to renew your PMP credential. For that you need to earn 60 periods and you have to claim it on the PMI website. So these are all about time. Let's move on further. Now let's talk about PMP eligibility criteria. So we need to fulfill 3 criteria to become eligible for PMP certification. First criteria, academic qualification. Second is project management experience. Third is PMP training. Let's talk about first criteria, that is educational qualification. You must be holding a 4-year bachelor's degree or a diploma or an equivalent in any discipline. Guys, to be eligible for PMP certification, you need to have at least bachelor degree or equivalent diploma. Let's talk about second criteria, that is project management experience. So if you are a degree holder, you must have minimum 3 years or 36 months of non-overlapping working experience in project management, wherein at least 4,500 hours you have spent as leading managing the project. So here guys, if your highest degree is bachelor degree, then at least you should be having 3 years minimum working experience and that working experience should be non-overlapping. Second, if you are a diploma holder or equivalent, you have to have minimum 5 years or 60 months of non-overlapping working experience. Now the question is here, what is non-overlapping working experience? So non-overlapping experience means you cannot count 40 hours per week or 2000 hours per year. Let's say you are working on more than one project simultaneously, so you cannot count overlapping time. So in 1 year, if you are doing 2 projects, the 1 year will be counted. Let's move on to the third criteria. This is project management education. This is about PMP formal training. So you are also required to attend 35 contract hours training program for formal project management education. So this is third criteria, where you need to attend 35 contract hours training program, which you can attend through virtual class, or even you can go for physical classes. So whichever method is fit for you, you can go through and you can obtain 35 contract hours training program. Now, before diving deep how to fill up PMP application, let's talk about some guidelines for filling up PMP application correctly. So here, regardless of the industry type you are working in, the task in the 5 domains will remain the same after the project objective. Here, what you need to understand, guys, no matter in what industry you are working in, the task, the activities you will be involved in doing the project will remain same, because nature of the project will be remain same. The project will be going through initiating, planning, executing, MNC, and of course closing. So the activities we will be involving in doing in these 5 processes groups will remain same. Second point here you need to understand, that is PMI does not require the title of project manager on the project submitted. They do require you to perform in the role of project manager for each project. So what does mean by this? PMI is saying you don't need to be project manager for getting PMP certification. However, you should be involved in doing project management activities regardless of your title. So if you did not serve in the role of project manager for each project experience, it will not fulfill PMI requirements. So make sure while writing the project description, it starts with me as a project manager, project lead, project engineer, and so on. So making sure that you are involved in doing project management activities regardless of your title. If you are not involved in doing project management activities regardless of your title of project manager, then you are not eligible for PMP certifications. Next point let's discuss here, that is project descriptions. Most often people doing mistakes in writing the project descriptions. So it should be formatted as noted below, like a brief 1-sentence project objective. Provide high level description that summarize your experience and include your role on the project, your responsibilities and deliverables. So a brief 1-sentence project outcome. So make sure when you are writing project descriptions, write project descriptions in brief, project objectives, project outcomes, that is deliverables, and your role and your responsibility should be also included in the project descriptions. Keep these guidelines in the mind before filling your PMP application. Let's move on and talk here about sections in PMP application. When you will be going to PMI website for filling up your PMP applications, you need to go through 4 sections. So first section, academic education. Second section, professional education. Third section, experience summary. And last section where you have to fill exam details. So let's move on further and discuss all these 4 sections one by one. In this academic education section, you are going to fill your highest education like master degree, or if your highest education is bachelor degree, fill it here. Then year of attending your degree, also the country name you are going to write here, and also the name of institutions you are going to write in this section, and just save and go to the next sections. So this is done. Let's move on to the second section. Second section is professional education. Here also you can see exactly the same section, same template you can see on the PMI website. So here you are going to fill all the details about PMP 35 contact hours training program. So here, like, you are going to write course title. In the course title you can simply write 35 contact hours of training, online or virtual or physical classes. Whatever title is mentioned on your 35 contact hours certificate, so that title you can mention here. Also, from where you have taken this 35 contact hours of training, so write the provider name here in this section, and here you are going to write the duration, the month, year, and of course you are going to qualify for 35 contact hours. After completing section 2, that is professional education, move to the third section. Third section, where we will be filling experience summary. This is the template, again you can see on your PMI website. In this, what you are going to fill: first section, project title. So exactly write your project title here, and then here write your organization name, and here in the job title write what was your title in that project. And of course here functional reporting area means the project was happened in which department within your organization. So write the department name in your organization here. Then here write organization primary focus, like your organization primary focus is in construction, IT, healthcare or R&D. So whatever is that, write that organizational primary focus area. And your project was developed with which method, through hybrid or through predictive or through adaptive. So whichever method was used in your project, you need to write it here. Then here you need to write project team size. So here you are going to write exact number of your team size, and in this section, this is project budget. Here you are going to mention the total budget of your project. And of course this is here project dates. So here you are going to mention a start and end date, means the duration of your project. So if you are claiming 1 project, 2 project or 3 project, so for each project you are going to fill this section. Now let's move to the next section. This is here project description you are going to write. So in this project description you will be writing about project objectives, your roles and project outcomes and the project descriptions. So in more detail we can see in the next slide here. As I explained earlier, in the actual format I have created one dummy format here that will be giving you more clarity. So here you are just writing your organization name, and here you are writing your job title. Here functional reporting area means in which department your project was happened, like the department was IT or department was project management department itself. So whichever department was within your organization you are going to write here. And this is something organizational primary focus. It means your organization focus area. Your organization belongs to construction or IT or healthcare, so that domain, that area you are going to reflect here. Then here hybrid, adaptive, predictive, which method was used to complete your project, you are going to indicate here. And this is the project team size. So exact number of team size you have handled in this project you are going to mention here. And this is project budget, and this is what the project duration, start and end. Now let's talk about project descriptions. How exactly you will be writing the project descriptions? So start first with project objectives. In project objectives, let me read. It is just for example: to perform due maintenance inspection task and carry out the interior modification as per customer requested a specification on Bombardier Global Express aircraft serial number 9256. This is project objective. There is one disclaimer here, guys, that each and every project is unique and you are going to write your own project descriptions. So write the project objective, write the outcome you project got out of it, and then also what all project management activities you have done in that particular project that you are going to write. So let's move on further and see the project outcome. So of course, whatever was objective here, there should be outcome here. You are going to write like whatever requested aircraft with required specifications were delivered to the client. So this is something outcome. Then here start writing me as a project manager. In place of project manager, write your exact job title. Okay, it is not necessary that you should be project manager to get PMP certified. So whatever your title in the project, exactly mention that. It might be project engineer, project coordinator, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, coder, developer, whatever it is, right? But you need to make sure that you were involved in doing the project management activities. That's most important. So here, me as a project manager, I assisted the project sponsor to develop the project charter and identified key stakeholders. So here you can see IN. This is indicating initiating. So part of project initiating phase, what activities you have been involved in. So that particular activities you are going to write here, like developing project charter. This is part of initiating phase, but responsibility for developing project charter is of project sponsor. But here you are writing you have assisted, so that is exactly fine. So I have assisted the project sponsor to develop the project charter and identified key stakeholders. So this is what you done with initiating phase. Now similarly, you are going to write the activities which you were involved in as a part of project planning. So here you can write develop project management plans, scope baseline, created WBS for individual tasks, and led the team in estimating the cost for the project and determining the budget. So basically here, these are all the activities done as part of project planning. So you were involved in any of these activity, you are going to write those activities only. Let's move on further and see here. Here you are going to write your activities you have done during the execution of your project. So this is indicating E, execution. So the project has been executed and managed project work through my team of 25 people. I manage the communication channels to keep engaged the project stakeholders. Also implemented risk response strategy when identified risk has occurred. This risk mitigation strategy help the project to be on track. So these activities you can see we do as part of execution. So if you have done any such activities as part of execution, you are going to write here. Then let's move on further and see the activities of MNC, that is monitoring and controlling. Throughout the project life cycle, I have measured project progress and control the cost for the project using unvalue management analysis. Also monitor the schedule for any possible risk of delays. I also kept my stakeholders updated on the status of the project by providing them with weekly project status report. So these are the activities you are going to mention as part of monitoring and controlling of your project. And final, the fifth process groups here, closing. So what all activities you have done as part of closing of project you are going to indicate here. Documented project closure outcomes, archived the project documents, and updated the lesson learned register and organizational process assets for my program management office or project management office. So if you were involved in any of such activities as part of closing of your project, then you are going to indicate here. Guys, it's very simple. You are going to fill your each and every project details in the same manner. And here let's talk about section 4, that is exam details. So here exactly the same format you can see here that you will be seeing on the PMI website. So here what you are going to fill about exam details, like write your address, like you can select home address or work address, whatever you want to give you can select, and you can provide the details here. So your country name here, address, optional address you can provide, city, district, state, province, and the postal code also you can provide, and just click on the save address. It will save in the database. Then further here you can see name on identification. So here you have to write your name, exactly the name mentioned on your any of the identification card. Further, how your name should be appear on the certificate, so exactly you are going to write your name in this section. Also you can provide email address, phone number, and where you want to take your exam. So write exam location, so you can fill India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, UK, USA, Canada, wherever you are right now, and there you can take your exam. So write that country name. Now let's say you have filled all the 4 sections. Go through the checklist. So here I am going to give you 6 checkpoints. First checkpoints, make sure you have included professional work experience only. There is no any personal experience you are going to mention while filling project description. Second checkpoints, guys, here include non-overlapping project experience. So make sure there is no overlapping experience included while counting the project duration. So non-overlapping, I have already explained that you cannot count 40 work hours per week or 2000 hours per year. It means you cannot count 2 projects simultaneously done in 1 year. So the time duration will be only counted 1 year, no matter how many projects you have done in 1 year. Third checkpoints here include true title of each project. So make sure you are writing the project title exactly it was mentioned in the contracts. Also guys, fourth checkpoint here is you are going to brief the project objectives and summary of project outcome. So don't skip writing project objectives and project outcome. Most often people do mention the project description, means what all activities they have done in 5 processes group, and they don't include the project outcomes and project objectives. So that is biggest mistake, so don't do that. Then fifth checkpoint is here also very important. If you are involved in doing any routine operational and administrative tasks, don't include those in your project descriptions. So exclude this routine work, operational work, and any administrative tasks, because these are not satisfying project management definition. These are something operational activities that you should avoid to include in your project experience. Sixth checkpoint here, include accurate number of team members and budget. So here also make sure you have accurately mentioned team numbers you have handled in each and every project, and for each and every project what was the budget exactly you have mentioned that budget. So these are the 6 checkpoints you can go through to make sure the information you have filled in the application is correct. Let's move on and talk about here review and submit. Let's say you have completed 4 sections and you have gone through 6 checkpoints. Now it's time to review and submit. So here now you have reached the final submission, guys, but before that take a screenshot or download your application if it is downloadable, and get your trainer, mentor, PMP expert checked to ensure that all the filled information satisfies the PMP handbook. So you can simply take the screenshot of your application from the PMI, and if it is downloadable also you can download, and you can share it with your mentor, trainer, if there is any PMP expert who can cross check, who can review before submitting it. Also very important that you should be informing your past or current project manager, supervisor who have been named in the application, so that they can validate your facts in case of audit. So make sure you are informing to your past project manager, supervisor whose name you have filled in your application. So in case your application get listed for PMI audit, they will give you favor, they will validate your facts. Now all the process is done, guys, and you have submitted your PMP application. After successful PMP application submission, you will be getting an email from PMI. Here you can see your PMP application has been received. So now this is the PMI acknowledgement on receipt of your PMP application. PMI will take 4 to 5 working days for review, and then they will let you know whether it is accepted or rejected. Let's say your application is accepted and approved by the PMI. You will be getting an acknowledgement email from the PMI. Now you are ready to pay the exam fees. So once your application is successfully accepted, the exam fee to be paid for scheduling the exam. So you can go to PMI website, go to your dashboard, and from there you can pay your exam fees. Alright guys, so at last let's talk about some key points to consider for successful PMP application. So I will suggest you guys start filling a PMP application as soon as your formal PMP training is completed, or at least 2 to 3 weeks before. Most of the PMP aspirants, they start filling up their PMP application at the last moments. So you don't do that, okay? The reason is you need to have some enough time to complete if your PMP application is shortlisted for PMI audit. So make sure as soon as you complete your PMP training, start filling up your PMP application. Second point here is pay attention in writing project details like project objectives, description, and outcomes. So that's very important. Very carefully you need to write these all details. Also, don't include overlapping experience. And here ensure no grammatical errors, and also you guys need to stick to the PMI suggested word limit. So there are 200 to 400 word limit within which you can fill your project description. So stick to the PMI suggested word limit. And one more thing, that you should keep hard copies of your educational qualifications, 35 contact hours training certificate. So in case your PMP application shortlisted for PMI audit, you need to send this educational qualification certificate and 35 contact hours training certificate. Also guys, don't include any false information. Be truthful and provide only correct information. So guys, follow these guidelines while filling up your PMP application to get it correctly filled and get it approved by PMI. Also, let me tell you, all the steps discussed in this video already followed by my more than 100 of mentees of PMP Mastery program, and they got their application approved by PMI without rejection. And that's the reason I'm not only sure but very confident that if you do follow steps and guidelines given in this video, you will be also able to fill your application efficiently and correctly, so that your application can also be approved by PMI. Alright guys, that's all we had in this video. In case you need any more details about PMP application, you can also visit PMP website. Also, you can get an ebook how to fill up PMP application in 30 minutes. For that, you need to go to comment section and type yes. And within 24 hours, you will receive ebook how to fill up PMP application. Guys, if you find this video valuable, then hit the like button and subscribe the channel for more videos about PMP and project management. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.